All right, let's dive in. We're all about Justin Kluivert today.
The man of the hour.
Yeah. But we're going deeper than just, the surface stuff. Like, can he actually step out of that huge shadow?
Oh, yeah.
His dad casts. We're talking Patrick Kluivert. We've got excerpts here all about Justin, his team Bournemouth, and this massive match coming up against Newcastle. It's going to be good.
I think what's really fascinating here, and you kind of hinted at it, is this isn't just about like one game, right? This could be like a real turning point
interesting.
For Justin's whole career.
Yeah.
To show everyone he can handle the pressure.
That's huge.
Shine on this massive stage,
It's funny you say turning point, though, because his career has already been kind of a wild ride, right?
Well, absolutely.
Starting at Ajax.
Well, of course.
Like following in those footsteps.
Big shoes to fill. I mean, Patrick Kluivert at Ajax, that's legendary stuff.
Exactly. But Justin, he had a killer breakout season there. What, 2017, 2018?
Yeah.
Scored 10 goals in 30 appearances.
Absolutely.
Earned him that move to AS Roma. And that's where things get kind of...
It gets interesting.
Yeah, interesting, complicated.
Those loan spells, right. Leipzig, Nice, Valencia, they weren't just about getting him minutes on the pitch. Each of those clubs, they had a totally different way of playing.
Okay.
A whole different philosophy. So he had to adapt constantly, learn new skills, add tools to his toolkit,
So it wasn't just being good, it was being versatile.
Exactly.
But then how does that lead him to Bournemouth? It's not exactly like a superstar magnet, you know what I mean?
Right. But think about their style under Iraola, high pressing, attacking. They need guys who are fast, creative, and can make decisions like that.
Oh, I see.
Justin Kluivert to a T.
So it's a perfect fit.
It is.
But then you've got Newcastle.
Oh, yeah.
Totally different beast.
Different animal altogether.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe, he's turned them into this machine, disciplined, physical. They're happy to just grind you down, you know?
Possession-based. So how does Bournemouth even stand a chance?
Well, I'll tell you, they got a secret weapon.
Okay.
This partnership, Kluivert and Antoine Semenyo.
Yeah.
Semenyo's strength. He holds the ball up, creates space, and that's where Kluivert thrives.
So it's like a 1-2 punch?
Exactly.
Soften him up, then bam.
And Newcastle's midfield, Bruno Guimaraães, fantastic player.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
He's going to have his work cut out trying to contain them.
If they get that ball to Kluivert with space...
Trouble.
Big trouble. But Newcastle's attack is no joke either.
Not at all.
I mean, Alexander Isak.
Oh, he's becoming a real problem.
He's a beast.
For the Vigors, yeah. His movement is so smart, finds those pockets, and when he gets a chance, clinical.
Bournemouth's defense will need to be on point.
100%. Organized, focused, the whole deal.
So we've got these incredible attacking threats on both sides. But what about the guys calling the shots? Iraola, how do their styles match up?
Oh, that's where it gets really interesting. You've got Iraola, he loves taking risks.
Yeah.
Press high, win it back fast, boom, attack.
Right.
How? He's more about control, Set the tempo, dominate possession, wear the other team down.
So it's like cat and mouse almost.
It is. Will Iraola's boldness work? Or will Howe's experience win out? Fascinating, honestly.
We've talked a lot about Justin, but we got to talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Patrick Kluivert.
The legacy looms large.
Undeniable.
Yeah.
I mean, his time at Ajax, Barcelona, even that little stint at Newcastle.
Right.
World class.
Absolutely.
But for Justin, does that legacy weigh him down?
It's the question, isn't it?
Or does it inspire him? Is he trying to escape it or embrace it?
That's what we're going to unpack, right?
Yeah.
Understanding that dynamic is key to understanding Justin's whole journey.
Absolutely. It's kind of crazy to think about all those loan spells he had.
Yeah.
You said each club had a totally different style. Can you break that down a bit more? How did those experiences actually shape him?
Oh, totally. So Leipzig, right? High intensity, pressing, kind of like Bournemouth now. But they're all about tactical discipline, off the ball movement.
So it wasn't just running around like a madman.
No.
It was running smart.
Exactly. And Justin, he was still pretty raw back then. It was a real lesson in tactics.
Gotcha.
Then you've got Nice, League One. That league's all about technique, flair.
Complete opposite.
Right. So how does he do? He flourishes.
Wow.
At Nice, he's got freedom. He's taking on guys one-on-one. Dribbling gets crazy good.
Nice.
That's where you see that unpredictability starting to develop, That spark, creating something out of nothing. That's crucial for a winger.
Okay, so Leipzig, tactics, Nice, individual brilliance. What about Valencia?
Ah, Valencia. Bit of a mixed bag, honestly.
Right.
They were a mess, changing managers all the time.
Yikes.
Tough to settle in. But even then, flashes of brilliance.
Okay. Some big goals showed he could handle the pressure cooker of a big club.
So it's like all these experiences kind of combine to make him who he is now.
It is like pieces of a puzzle.
Right.
And now we see the whole picture. That's what makes him so exciting, you know?
It does, yeah. He's got all these different elements to his game. But speaking of his game, let's look ahead a bit. You said this Newcastle match could be a turning point. What did you mean by that?
If he kills it against a top team like Newcastle,
Yeah.
in a match everyone's watching.
It's a statement.
It is. It puts you on the map.
Yeah.
Big clubs, scouts, everyone's paying attention.
So it's more than just winning the game.
Way more
Yeah.
is showing what you're made of when the lights are brightest.
Okay, but let's flip it for a sec. What if he has a quiet game? Or Bournemouth just gets destroyed? Does that hurt him?
One game doesn't ruin a career,
Right.
but it's about momentum. A great game builds confidence, creates buzz.
Sure.
A bad one, especially a big one, can knock you back. You
So
know?
this match, it really is crucial for him. It is. He's got to make an impression.
Okay, let's play hypotheticals. He has a phenomenal season, scores a ton of goals, Bournemouth finishes strong. What happens next? Does he stay?
Things get interesting then. If he tears up the Premier League,
Yeah.
every big club's going to want him.
Wow.
The question is, what's the best move for him? You know,
I see.
mid-table club, starts every week.
Right?
Or risk it, join a giant, maybe ride the bench sometimes.
Tough choices.
They are. That's where having good people around you matters. People who get his game, his goals.
Makes sense.
Every choice has consequences. Gotta think long term.
Like chess.
It is, kinda.
Yeah.
That's what makes Justin's story so cool, right? He's at this crossroads.
Yeah.
What he does next could change everything.
And what about Bournemouth? What if they lose him?
Huge blow, obviously.
Yeah.
He's a star. Fans love him. Tough to replace that.
But couldn't they use that transfer money, you know?
Of course, reinvest, build the squad. It's an opportunity, too.
So it's kind of win-win.
That's modern football. Players come and go. Smart clubs use that churn to their advantage.
And Iriola, he seems like a smart guy, right?
He does. He's thinking big picture, building something sustainable.
So back to this Newcastle match. Two very different managers.
Yeah.
How do you see that playing out?
It's going to be fun. Iriola, attack, 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 right.
Right.
How more calculated?
Yeah.
Control the pace, wait for the opening. Philosophies clashing.
I like it. So for Bournemouth, they got to mess up Newcastle's flow.
Yeah, force turnovers, hit them on the break. That's where Kluivert's speed is deadly.
But isn't that risky? Leaving yourself open at the back against Newcastle.
It is, but Iriola knows they can't outmuscle Newcastle. They got to be smarter, faster, take their chances.
So those little moments when Newcastle's not set?
That's where a guy like Kluivert is gold. Dribbling, creating in tight spaces, making the right decision in a split second. That's what Bournemouth needs.
Okay, last question. You've seen thousands of matches. What's the one little thing you'll be watching for in this one? The key to the whole thing.
Bruno Guimaraes.
Interesting.
He runs that midfield, dictates the tempo, everything goes through him. If Bournemouth can shut him down,
Yeah.
disrupt his passing, force him into errors, they've got a shot. If not, Newcastle probably controls the game.
Crazy how one player can be that important.
That's football. It's about individuals, but it's also about the system. And Guimaraes, he makes that whole system tick.
Okay, you've given me something new to watch for. But let's switch gears a bit. The Kluivert legacy. It's impossible to ignore.
It is, yeah. Complicated, too.
How so?
Well, having a famous dad, it opens doors, right? Connections, advice.
Yeah.
But it also creates crazy expectations, comparisons you can't escape.
That must be tough.
It is. Trying to live up to a legend, so many players struggle with that.
So how's Justin handling it? Is he trying to be different from his dad or embrace it?
I think it's both. He's obviously proud of his dad, talks about how much he inspires him.
Yeah,
But he also wants to be his own man, you know, make his own name.
totally understandable.
It's like trying to climb out of a giant shadow. Some guys can't do it. Some use that pressure as fuel.
So which one is Justin?
I think he's doing great, honestly. He's playing with confidence, taking risks, not afraid to be himself.
That's a good point. It's finding that balance, respecting the legacy, but blazing your own trail.
Exactly. And he doesn't have to choose, really. He can do both.
It's not about escaping the shadow. It's about shining your own light.
Well said. That's what makes him so interesting, right? He's a great player.
Yeah.
But he's also this young guy figuring out life, family, legacy. It's a human story, you know?
It is. It goes beyond just football. You know, it's funny, you mentioned earlier about how Justin's success, it's not just about him.
Right.
It could actually change Bournemouth's entire future.
Oh, yeah.
As a club.
Think about it. They've always been this, like, yo-yo club.
Up and down, yeah.
Bouncing between the Premier League and the Championship.
Right.
But if they can keep Justin, build around him.
That's a statement.
It is. To players, to investors, to the fans.
Shows they're serious.
Like, we're here to stay.
Yeah.
Justin's talent, it could be what they need to really become a top-flight club.
Okay, gotta ask. This Newcastle match.
Yeah.
Prediction time. Can they pull off the upset?
Ooh, tough one. Newcastle, they gotta be the favorites.
Yeah.
But Bournemouth, they can be dangerous, especially on the counter.
So it all comes down to, like, executing the game plan. Disrupt Newcastle, get the ball to Kluivert.
Exactly. If they can create those moments of chaos, then anything can happen. That's what's so great about football.
The underdog always has a shot.
Always.
Last question for you. We've talked about a ton of stuff.
We have.
Tactics, transfers, legacy.
Yeah.
What's the one thing about Justin Kluivert that's really stuck with you?
You know, it's his fearlessness. Honestly, on the pitch, he's not afraid to take guys on, try something crazy, risk failing to do something brilliant. And off the pitch, he's not shying away from the pressure of his name.
That's big.
He's making his own way. It's inspiring, really.
You know, it's more than just football when you say it like that.
It is.
It's about facing any challenge head on.
Exactly. He shows us that we can do anything if we're brave enough to chase our dreams, be ourselves, never give up.
Well said. And for anyone listening, I hope you watch Justin Kluivert with a new perspective now.
Don't just see the name, see the player, the skill, the drive, the fearlessness.
Maybe you'll even find some inspiration for yourself, right?
That's what it's all about.
So, when you watch Newcastle versus Bournemouth, remember, this is more than just a game. It's a story unfolding right in front of us.
A story of talent, ambition, the chase for greatness.
And that's a story worth watching. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.